One of the most interesting cues in Legion is the dance battle
from this last season. Was that was the first episode, I think.
It was.
The narrative of this show is often in a dreamlike kind of abstract world. What was it like when you saw this scene? Or my question was, did this scene get edited to your music? Because it almost seems like it would have been too hard to edit to nothing.
So okay. I got the script. I read the script. I'd already started writing the themes for this season, and I noticed this in the script. Now, in the script, there was about 3 lines describing what happens in this 5-minute sequence. It was about 3 lines of description. So I knew what was going to happen. I knew that my phone was going to ring. It was just a question of when my phone was going to ring. So like a day later, my phone rings. It's Noah calling me. He said, "We got to talk about the dance." And I was like, "I know." So he had an idea of what he wanted, because Carrie starts plugging into some patch bay. So I was like, the great thing is I just got a new synthesizer for our show.
And it's beautiful.
And it's big Moog. And I said, it's a patch chord sequence thing. And I'll start plugging in some stuff and see what happens. So what I had to do is I wrote the entire piece of music, and they did a choreography to the music. Perfect. And then they edited the show, because I wrote that without ever seeing picture. Like, there was no picture. I had to write the music first so they could shoot to the music. So they shot the entire scenes to the music. And then we had to do some, once we got into editorial, like, we had to do some editing and sort of moving stuff around to make it really work with the
picture. But it was actually your music that they were they
choreographed to the music.
That is wonderful and rare, because I would inherit picture where the director would just say, "You guys pretend you're dancing," and then you'd find in post, a hot single, drop it over, and it's something I always do when I look at movies and TV shows where they're not dancing in time. I think they couldn't either find dancers that have any sense of rhythm, right, or clearly nobody understands how you either put an earwig in or a thump track to make them dance in time. So you're really lucky they danced to the actual.
Well, yeah, so I'm really lucky, but it was also that we really wanted the tone of whatever the dance music was going to be to affect the actual battle itself. Like, the idea was not just that there was dancing, but that there was a narrative behind the dancing, right? So the idea is they're having a dance battle, which was in lieu of a physical battle. So it's sort of more of a metaphysical idea of how to have
one of those crazy things that only a show like Legion can do.
That's exactly right, which is why I needed to create the music first, because there wasn't going to be a way to do it the other way.
Well, yeah, there's no way you could choreograph, and with the cuts and the way it's pieced together,
right?
That was my immediate thing. I was like, he must have done the music first.
Yeah.
How far in advance did you have to deliver that to them?
Before they were a good week before they shot, because it needed to be choreographed as well. So the choreographers needed the music like a week before they were shooting. So I started working on it probably the week prior to that. But it was one of those things where it's like I wrote, you have an idea and you write a piece of music, and it doesn't take very long. Like, if you have an idea, it's coming up with the idea and then implementing that idea that takes the time. So like, I had the idea and I finished the piece of music in like 3 hours or 4 hours or something. But then it was tweaking it for the next week before I sent it off to them.